Today on In the Woodyard, we're on a road trip. We're going to a logging show, and we're going to do a segment on about talking to people and finding out more information than you possibly can imagine. And Tony's with me, and we're going to talk about it. So here we go. So Tony's along with me. We're on our way up to Escanaba to the logging show, and we stopped at Frank's, and you saw that video yesterday. But we're going to do another whole video because as we were driving, we were just talking about taking opportunities that present themselves and how important it is. And you know, we saw that pile there, and Tony and us both, our eyes just bugged out of our heads, right?
Absolutely.
It was just like, holy smokes, we got to stop in. And we had no intentions other than just looking at the wood.
Taking some pictures of,
take a picture of
the lot.
But then we thought, you know, what do we got to lose? Let's ask. And so what happened was we went and we talked to Jen on the inside, the owner's daughter, Eugene. Frank is their last name, and that's their wood business. And she said, yeah, go right ahead. It'd be good advertising. And then, so we did the video around the lot. You guys just saw that yesterday. And then we talked to Frank. He just happened to pull up by us, and he said, what are you guys doing here? You need any help? He was just real friendly, and here he was, the guy. And we just wanted to talk about how important it is to take opportunities when they present themselves and take advantage of them and talk to people. I mean, you know that from being in sales, right, Tony?
First thing is, people always like to talk about themselves, in most cases.
99% of the time. The only time they don't want to is if they're doing something shady.
Yeah.
Or if they got something going on that's so good, they know if they open it up,
that
it'll be over.
That's it.
Which is not most people. Most people love talking about what they're passionate about, especially. And Frank was that guy.
And wood people seem to do
Eugene.
that.
Oh, yeah, wood people are the best people.
Yep.
Because wood is good, and people that are in the woods are good people.
Absolutely. We've all learned that.
Yeah, everybody we talk to in the wood business is hardworking, love the outside, they're honest, very friendly, are passionate about what they do. And he's 71 years old, and he was just saying how he just can't wait to get out in the wood in the morning. He absolutely loves getting out in the woods. And he said he loves every minute of it. And he doesn't have to work. He's got 71 employees doing the work, but he loves it.
I mean, there's a perfect example or testimonial to somebody who enjoys what he's doing and wants to do it as long as he can.
Yeah, we asked him, how much longer do you want to do this? He said, well, no reason to quit. He said he loves doing it, so he's going to go. He said he's been fishing more now than ever, but...
Right. But a lot of it is done with the Veterans Administration.
Right.
He's aligning with them for veterans from Vietnam and for current veterans as well. So that's something else he's very passionate about. Chris, as you noticed, the minute you asked him if we could talk with him, his jacket came off faster than
he was
greased lightning.
He was ready to talk wood.
He was ready to talk. Yeah, tell us about his business. Very successful. And all we had to do was ask those questions as salespeople or just anybody.
Right.
Just, what's it all about? What are you doing? How did you start this? And he said he sold his business to his son, and then he went back and he bought into the business with his son later, and they bought the logging company from a guy in Stevens. And he said they looked at the material that he had. It had mushrooms growing on it. And he said, boy, but they got the inventory list from, or his customer list, and it was from Chicago. Wow. And so that's their marketplace, which is, he says, those people, they buy everything.
Yeah, he said you could sell anything to them because any wood is good wood to them because
absolutely.
That's just how they are. So yeah, absolutely
and then
amazing.
We walked through each segment of it. You asked him about how long do they season the wood and how long do they keep it. He was telling us on how many crews that he has out cutting the wood, and he does a lot of subs as well, and contractors or contract salespeople as well. So unbelievable how interesting that gentleman is.
There you go. Yeah, it was amazing when every little question we asked, I mean, he just ran with it and just would talk. And that's where we were just talking about how it's just so amazing when you talk to people about something they're passionate about, boy, they will just explode telling you about it.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he would start talking about one thing, it would lead to another and another. And I had a billion questions I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to take his whole day up. And he's going to be at the show, so he said he'd run into us up there. And yeah, absolutely amazing.
And once again, Chris, as we all know, something like this can open up doors for other things. Your photography business, just a contact for wood,
Yep.
just another source for wood in case John should not have any or run short.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable if you just ask.
Yeah. It is amazing at how people that have done something their whole life are so knowledgeable, but yet so free to talk about it. Whereas, if you're dealing with what I would call the suits,
Yeah,
they tend to be more tight-lipped
absolutely.
and not as friendly.
Well, one interesting fact that came out of it was his thoughts of this upcoming year with fuel prices being up. He said that the firewood market should be really good.
Yeah, absolutely. He said, with fuel prices go up, wood prices, not so much the prices go up, but people
The
will
demand.
buy more. The demand goes up, so that's a very good thing. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good year this whole next year, maybe the year after, who knows. It just depends what happens with fuel prices. And not that we want to get political, but depending on who's in office, it does affect the price of fuel.
Absolutely.
And it affects everybody, good and bad. So that's the one thing he was talking about, that it's a bad thing, is that he's got, how many trucks did he say he has? Like 70 or something?
70, yeah.
Yeah. And then he's got all his machines that he's running on diesel.
He says he had 4 operators working full time.
Full time, and another one.
Yeah, he has a 5th machine, as we said. He has 5 processors.
5 processors.
All multi-techs. So
Unreal.
if you can just imagine the millions of dollars in capital investment that he has sitting there.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, 50 employees.
70, he said.
Or 70, yeah.
Yeah, his daughter thought around 50, but he said more like 70.
Yeah.
Still. So yeah, it made us felt like we were little children.
Yeah.
At a very manly place.
Well, what was the old saying? Like a pimple on an elephant's butt?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be afraid to talk to people. That's one of the things that I learned from my brother Kenny, because he's a very outgoing guy, not afraid of anybody or anything. Just figures everybody's like him, and he's not afraid to talk to anybody. And when one time we were on a trip together, and we were trying to get permission to do some stuff out west, and he was like, "Yeah, let's just go knock on doors." He's like, and I'm like, "We really think we should talk to this guy? Well, let's talk to this guy over here." And so he would literally stop guys on the road. We'd drive by, and he'd put his hand up and say, "Hey, can I ask you some questions?" We ended up eating lunch at the guy's place and got invited to stay overnight. I mean, stuff like that. It was amazing at how friendly people really are, especially if you're out in the country. Now, in the city, you wouldn't get that.
No,
I mean,
that's it.
And we found this. One time we were in North Dakota together, and we found that we talked to one guy, and he knew everybody, because everybody knows everybody out there.
That's it.
And he said, "Yeah, I'll give this guy a call. I'll give that guy a call. We'll get you all set up." And he said, "You guys can stay right here, and I got electricity, and there's a place where you can, take all your wet clothes and put it off and dry it, and here's a wood stove you can use." I mean, it was just amazing at how the world opens up to you when you're friendly to people.
For sure.
So just like Kenny says, check your nuts. The other thing he says, talk to people.
That's for sure.
Talk to people is important. So hopefully that was enjoyable for you. We just thought we'd do a video here because we were talking about it, and we thought it might be interesting and educational. So that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Please hit the buttons. You know what to do. Hit the like, the subscribe, the share, all that good stuff. Hey, we're crossing the border into Michigan. Look at that. And tomorrow we'll be back. Between now and then, get outside, get cut.